Hey. Good, how are you?
I'm supposed to say how would you assess your round and how are the conditions, but I'm not gonna go there. There's been a few soft bogeys, probably of course today. Are you okay with that when you're more than compensating for it, or does it annoy you?
I would say today I feel a little bit better. Yesterday, I had a 3-putt on a par 5 and another bogey from 100 yards in the fairway. At least today when I made that big mistake, on 12, making bogey there, I came back and made up for it the next few. You're looking to kind of play 12 through 18 and 3 under. You're trying to play a few under in the first 7, and then 8 through 11 are really the tough stretch of holes out here. So I got back to on par for the course, I felt like, and so I feel a little better about it.
What'd you do on 6? What club was that in?
I was a 3-wood, which
you like?
It was funny. I told him after he hit the shot, and I walked over to Michael. I'm like, I'm laughing at how I had no chance hitting that shot at this tournament last year if we were here. So progress was made to step up and trust it into the wind. If I hit it off the heel at all, it's in the water. You tow it at all, it's in the desert. And I was at 280 yards into the breeze. You're at altitude, but I needed to hit a stripe 3-wood, and it was a cool shot kind of for me personally because that's one, especially with a 3-wood into the wind, that I've really struggled with.
And then when you get a guy, and you've done this yourself, I'm sure, from time to time, who opens up with like 18 under after 2 rounds, is it hard to keep that going? And what's your outlook?
I guess everybody would have signed for 18 through 2 rounds. So, but yeah, I think the hardest part is regrouping and almost feeling like you start fresh to put the gas, put your foot on the gas pedal versus tapping the brakes. It can be easier to kind of maybe back off and hit irons off some of the holes when you were hitting driver the first couple days, and so that it actually feels good being at 12 under or 13 under, and actually feeling like I'm way behind because that'll help me keep the foot on the gas pedal. But when you got it going that well, you can't really think that you're going to shoot 36 under, but setting a legitimate goal to kind of keep your head down, forget about the last 2 days, and move forward, I think is a key.
You probably thought it was, assumed it was going to be some decent scoring this week when you got here. Would you have seen 18 under through 2?
I could have seen 15. 18's. I assume he's blemish free, but I don't actually know that.
One bogey?
Yep, yeah, I don't know. I would have said probably 15, and I would have said somewhere in the mid, 26 under is what I thought would be somewhere around, having a chance, and it still may be, but I don't think we have a lot of wind forecasted. So if that's the case, you gotta. There's just not a lot of places they can hide the pins here, and they've done a good job of it, and they've left a couple of the tougher ones for the weekend. But you get a lot of bowls with wedges. It's really exciting, but 18 under is still special.
What is your take on Palm Springs versus U.S. Open style of golf?
I like wind. I like knowing where the wind is. I'd rather play in 15 to 20 out here than light and variable. It's just harder for me to commit. I just grew up in wind almost every day. So I prefer I told Michael coming in, I was like, I don't think this is the best setup for me. And then especially I really haven't practiced much at all. Took a week off and then just played a couple rounds the next week. So I was kind of coming in here being like, all right, let's play one this fall, and this happens to be the one. And now I feel good about the progress since I've been here this week, and the course could be for me if I want it to be, I guess, on the weekend.
But I've heard for years, Tiger, for example, used to love the tougher setups and not the scoring fest, and you talk about the win. But at your level of play, if it's a birdie fest, you guys can all handle it, can't you?
Yeah.
Does it favor one type of player when it's like this?
I think it puts more of an emphasis on who's making the most putts.
Yeah.
There's a little bit less in carving your way around the course, like really thinking your way around it, playing the right shots. It's more, you're firing at every pin. Most of the short-sided ones, if you miss short-sided, you're actually in better shape than if you're on the other side of the green. So
like 11. That example yesterday.
Yeah, not well. Some of them. Like even 10, I bogeyed 10 today, but over right of that green was uphill versus I'd had to go up and down from the left side of the green. So it's just, yeah, you get away with more for sure, and you don't have to be quite as precise. But again, to get to 18 under, I don't think it matters. You got to be pretty precise no matter what shot you're hitting.
One last out of left field type question, and I mean this in a generic sense. When you have someone who's getting up and down all day long, is that a credit to his wedge or the putter? You follow that at all?
Yeah, typically I would say the wedge. Yeah, I follow that because I've lived that plenty of times, and I would
But
say.
if you're not holding 8-footers, then.
Well, that's true. That's true, but you're still, like, the percentages inside of 10 feet go up significantly, and I'd imagine most of your putts are inside of 10 feet. Now you still have to can them, but I imagine if you're getting up and down all day, some of them are pretty hard as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to think if you're wedging it close enough, then if you're chipping well enough, then you're inside of 5 feet, and then the percentages aren't, they don't sway as much.
Gotcha. Take it away.
Completely off topic, mate. Could you just talk me through Xander Schauffele's attitude and style and what he's like as a person? Something. Give me something.
Yeah, Xander's one of my favorites. Yeah. He's awesome. Gotten to know him a lot more over the last, I'd say, 2 years than before that. I mean, he was our age growing up, but we weren't very close. So it's been really fun getting to know him. I think Phil said it, that he might be one of the most underrated players on the PGA Tour, even though he's obviously, had great success, and I would have to very much agree with that. He's a top 10 putter. He strikes the ball beautifully, drives it really well, has speed, kind of has all the shots. So, but then being around him, it's really, I mean, he'll, without getting too into it, it's good bullshit, and but he's also one of the nicest guys too.
I was going to say, you ever give him the needle on the fact that he used the fact that you guys got all the highlights and headlines when you were younger, and he didn't, because that was his driving force in the early days?
Yeah, I guess so. And that's the beauty of our game, right? So he obviously knew he had the talent and then put the work in, and he's done it the right way. Like, he's not. He seems to have the right mix of feel and technique, and then at the same time, he's got his dad as his primary coach. He's got his putting coach, and they know exactly where he needs to be at all times. He doesn't sway off very much. That's why he's such a consistent player too.
Thanks, mate.